Hi guys, it's Luna and welcome to the first episode of MoonRock. Today I'll be doing a review of the movie My Little Pony Equestria Girls. I'm a huge fan of the show, so when I first heard about this movie, like when I saw the trailer for it, I had really mixed feelings about the whole idea. Like, the idea of the 6 ponies as human teenage girls, that just seemed really weird to me. I don't know. I was kind of worried that the movie wouldn't be very good, but a couple weeks after it came out in theaters, I found it on my computer and I watched it. I was just like, what the heck? And I loved it so much. It was so amazing. I was blown away. And now I'm gonna do a review on it. So the movie starts with Twilight Sparkle and her friends going to the Crystal Empire for a summit or something, and Twilight kind of expresses her fear of not being a good ruler like Cadence and Luna and Celestia. Hey Luna, that's me. But of course she's excited. I mean, who isn't excited to be a princess? I mean, come on. Pinkie Pie, of course, comes up with a hybrid of the two words, nervous-sided! And I found it really hilarious. In fact, my sister has been using that word when she's excited and nervous at the same time about something. It's really cute. They go into the throne room and Twilight bumps into one of the royal guards who announces her as Her Highness Princess Twilight. Little do we know, that royal guard is going to have some significance later in the plot. But not really. So Celestia lets the ponies rest for the night, and Twilight is just really worried about not being a good enough ruler to rule her own kingdom like the other 3, and she's having trouble adjusting to her new wings that she got at the end of season 3 in the TV show. And yeah, it's funny that her wings keep popping up, but really when you think about it, you just feel bad for her in the sense that, well, I'd be under a lot of pressure too if I had to be a princess and rule a kingdom or whatever. But Spike is very supportive, and her friends too. But wait, Spike is her friend. Never mind, you know what I mean. So later in the night, a hooded figure tries to steal Twilight's crown, which triggers the other elements of harmony, and tries to replace it with a fake one. But she trips on Spike's tail and wakes them up. Twilight fails in getting her real crown back, and the pony that took it goes through this mirror, which is like another world. Celestia reveals that the pony that stole Twilight's crown and went through the portal to the alternate universe is a former student of hers named Sunset Shimmer. Kind of explains how Sunset Shimmer was a really promising student like Twilight was, only she was a little more greedy, a little more selfish, and when she didn't get what she wanted, which was the element of harmony, the crown, she just became really hard and really cruel, and eventually she went into the alternate world, the human world. And she had been waiting for the portal, which only opens every 30 moons, to open again so that she could go back to Equestria and steal the crown and keep it to herself. So Twilight is sent to the alternate universe to get the crown back, and she only has 3 days to do so before the portal closes up again for another 30 moons. And if she does not succeed in this task, then Equestria is in danger because the elements of harmony can't protect it. And Spike, of course, doesn't want Twilight to go by herself, despite the fact that it would upset the balance, so he runs through the portal along with her. It's kind of like, oh, your friends can't come, but the dragon can go with you. That's fine. That's cool. So Twilight gets temporarily knocked out, but when she wakes up, she sees Spike, and she is surprised to see him, obviously, but even more surprised to see that he is a purple furry dog. Spike is a flipping dog. What the heck? Why? What? I still haven't gotten over the idea of Spike as a dog. That's insane. Why a dog? I mean, I don't understand. Why not a cat? Twilight can do magic and cats are associated with magic. Why couldn't Spike be a cat? That would make more sense. But wait, Twilight can't do magic in that world, so I guess it's okay. But still, I mean, a dog? Really? Even more appalling, Twilight has these. She doesn't know what these are. She doesn't know what they do. So Twilight is kind of freaking out about her new look. She's a human now. She's a human teenage girl in high school. I can't really decide which is weirder, Twilight as a human or Spike as a dog. A talking dog. I kind of found myself correcting Twilight throughout the movie while she was human. Like when she was trotting or galloping like she normally does in Equestria and this guy saw her and it was like really awkward. I was just like, girl, you need to stand up and walk on those legs. That is how we walk. And it's funny because she like gets up on her legs and she tries to show the impression that she has no trouble balancing on them. She's like, look, I'm standing. I'm not galloping like a pony. I'm fine. And the guy's like, okay. And she tries to use magic to open up the door, and it's like, dude, you're a human. You can't use magic in the human world. Open the door with your hand. But at the same time, I felt a little sorry for her. I mean, if you're not used to the way things go, then obviously you're gonna be really awkward about it. It's awkward if you make it awkward, but there's just times when it's just awkward. So eventually she gets used to the idea that she is a human and she kind of adjusts. And then she sees Sunset Shimmer picking on a girl who looks very familiar. She doesn't realize it's Sunset Shimmer, so she is totally brave enough, not foolish, but brave to stand up to her. Like, how dare you speak to her that way? And Sunset Shimmer's all like, I can talk to anybody, any way I want, you B-word. And there's one thing I like to say about this movie is I kind of like how there were some parallels between the movie and the first episode of the TV show. For example, Twilight and Fluttershy meeting in the human world. It was very similar, in case you haven't noticed, to when the pony versions of the girls met. It was like, hi, I'm Twilight, what's your name? And Fluttershy is like really shy and she talks like this and she's like, Fluttershy. But when she sees Spike, she's all like, oh my gosh, it's a dog, he's so cute! Wouldn't you give anything to know what they're thinking about? In this movie, Twilight discovers the meaning of the word clique. Fluttershy's introducing her to like the athletes and the fashionistas and the rockers and the nerds. And Twilight's like, what? Why are they divided like this? I don't understand. And apparently Sunset Shimmer was picking on Fluttershy because when the crown went through the portal, it hit Fluttershy's head, and it's supposed to be the crown for whoever's crowned Princess of the Fall Formal, which was Sunset Shimmer the last 3 years in a row. And Fluttershy returned it to Principal Celestia, and Sunset Shimmer just got mad at her. That's a reasonable reaction. So Twilight goes to Principal Celestia's office and asks her about the crown without telling her where she's from. Celestia is just kind of like, oh yeah, this crown is for the Princess of the Fall Formal. Twilight decides that the only way to get the crown is to become Princess of the Fall Formal, which means beating Sunset Shimmer, which is kind of a bad idea according to the girls. Twilight goes to the head of the dance committee, which is none other than Pinkie Pie herself. Again, it's the parallel between first episode in the movie. In both cases, Pinkie Pie is super crazy and she's like, "Oh, I knew you didn't look familiar." And she's like asking all these questions and whatnot. And Applejack comes in with refreshments for the dance, and it pretty soon becomes apparent that the human versions of these wonderful friends aren't friends. Wait, what? Are they supposed to be seniors? I don't really know. They could be juniors. I don't know. So later on, Twilight decides to go to the library and do some more research on human life. Meanwhile, Sunset Shimmer enlists her two henchmen, who, by the way, the pony versions of Sunset Shimmer's henchmen were kind of the henchmen of the great and powerful Trixie. Twilight is just kind of being downright embarrassing to herself. She doesn't know how computers work, and she's totally behaving like she would in Equestria, and these guys get her on camera, and later they post it online and everybody sees it. That kind of sucks. While in the library, Twilight finds a yearbook from the girls' freshman year of high school, and it's pretty dang clear that they were friends back then, and then something must have happened. And she figures out that it was Sunset Shimmer who broke them up. So the next day, she finds out about the video, and she starts to panic, and she meets Rarity, finally. Again, another parallel. Rarity gives her a makeover, complete with a wig. And of course, the dog version of Spike has a crush on the human version of Rarity. That totally makes sense. What kind of a dog has a crush on a human being? That's disgusting. Dragon? Pony? That doesn't make sense. So I shouldn't really be judging that. And the girls are kind of nitpicking each other. They're arguing, and Twilight breaks off the fight, and she shows in the yearbook, and Applejack decides to make amends with Rainbow Dash, who she hasn't talked to for ages. So the girls all reconcile, and Rainbow Dash decides to help Twilight on the condition that she beat her in a soccer match. Which is totally a lie, because Twilight gets her butt kicked by Rainbow Dash, and Rainbow Dash still helps her for her heart and determination. What she really should have said was, "Sure, I can help you become Princess of the Fall Formal, but on one condition. You gotta have heart and determination. Can you do that?" I love how Rainbow Dash is all braggy. She knew Twilight wasn't gonna beat her because she's awesome, and she says it all the time. So while all this madness is going on, there's a subplot involving Flash Sentry. Flash Sentry belongs in the rocker clique, and he's this totally classic high school dreamy boy, and he's such a gentleman and really cool and benevolent. And Twilight had met him while she was getting trampled by the other students in the hallways. And later, at the sweet shop, she orders a smoothie, and then she accidentally bumps into him again and spills the smoothie everywhere. That's embarrassing. And Flash Sentry is like, "Oh, we gotta keep bumping into each other like this." Twilight is just totally not herself at all. Sits down, and you can totally tell she has feelings for this guy, because she stares at him, she blushes, and she's twirling her hair like that. Rarity picks up on this, and she's like, "I don't think so. You don't want to be messing with Sunset Shimmer by going out with her ex-boyfriend." I really like romantic plots, so this romantic subplot was kind of the reason I decided to watch this movie. But I also like a little bit of action, so I am very glad that they didn't just make it some teen romantic comedy drama or whatever. That would have just ruined the entire theme of the TV show and the movie for that matter, and it would just be really cheesy and really predictable. However, I have kind of mixed feelings about this, because I think it was kind of a weaker subplot. it definitely could have been stronger. Like, it would have been interesting if Sunset Shimmer picked up that there was something maybe going on between her ex-boyfriend and her competition for the fall formal, and that would have given her, like, even more rage in, like, this huge climax at the end. We just get even angrier and have more of a reason, I guess, to destroy Twilight and take the crown. I don't know. Now we get to my favorite part in the whole movie, which is the Equestria Girls song. That's the scene where, after Rarity comes with the idea of wearing their Canterlot Wonder Colt outfits, which was really popular their freshman year, they, like, start this whole musical number campaign thing. And that is such an epic song. I love it so much. That song's like one of my favorite songs of all time. It has such a good message. It shows that you shouldn't have barriers between people just because they're different. It's beautiful. Sunset Shimmer sees this campaign and she gets pissed off, and so she destroys the decorations for the dance that Pinkie Pie worked so hard on. She makes it look like Twilight did this so that she can't run for Princess of the Fall formal anymore. So the issue is quickly resolved, which I'm partially kind of disappointed about, because if Twilight couldn't run for Princess of the Fall formal anymore and there wasn't any evidence that she didn't do it, she could have just gone to the dance and warned everybody Sunset Shimmer and how the crown is magic and she needs it to stop her from taking over the universe. I mean, that's how it usually goes, but I'm also partially happy that it was quickly resolved because it was resolved by Flash Sentry. He found the cut up photos in the trash can and showed Vice Principal Luna. So Twilight was allowed back into the competition thanks to Flash Sentry, and she totally hugs him because she's so happy, and then he asks her to the dance and Twilight's about to accept. She totally rejects him because she freaks out that the dance is postponed until tomorrow and that'll be too late because the portal will be closed for another 30 moons and she can't get the crown and take it back to Equestria. Flash Sentry is so sad about supposedly being rejected by Twilight. This is really funny. Twilight eventually comes clean to the girls and tells her the whole sitch. But Pinkie Pie was actually the one who said it because I don't know how she knew. She just said it was just a hunch. And I was like, Pinkie Pie, you think Twilight's a psychic? You're really spot on. You're the one who's a psychic. So they all chip in to repair the damage that Sunset Shimmer has done. They're so successful with it, thanks to the help of the other students, that the dance is back on as originally planned. Yay! So Rarity gets the girls all dressed up and ready for the dance, and Twilight kind of clears things up with Flash Sentry and accepts a dance with him. Twilight ends up winning the crown. Shimmer lures her outside and threatens to break the portal if she doesn't give back the crown. So this is such an epic scene. Twilight is so strong, and it proves to me, at least, that she does have what it takes to be a true princess. It explains how the elements of harmony may not be able to protect Equestria, but that they'll find another way to protect themselves. But the human world might not, and so she decides to let Sunset Shimmer break the portal, which she doesn't. Sunset Shimmer was only bluffing because she assumed she would get the crown from Twilight. She does by force, and she turns into this really scary demon. The demon actually wasn't that scary. It looked a little cheesy to me, to be honest, but I guess if you were like 5, 6 years old watching the movie, it would be kind of scary. I don't know. Either way, she is kind of scary looking, and she puts the entire school under her spell, and she doesn't actually want to take over that world. She actually wants to take them through the portal to Equestria and take over that. But as the elements of harmony are in the girl's spirits, they defeat her to the point where Sunset Shimmer realizes what she's done and kind of redeems herself, sorta, and she's just crying. Apologizes to everybody, and she kind of explains how she doesn't know anything about friendship, and Twilight enlists her new human friends to help her out. There are 2 funny parts that I kind of ruffled at. The first funny part was when dog version of Spike was just so excited for the girls' magic-y stuff, like all this magic was going on and they defeated Sunset Shimmer, and he was like, yeah, way to go, woohoo! And everyone was like, whoa, did that dog just talk? Like they were acting completely normal with the whole demon, dragon, magic thing, and they think the talking dog is weird. And Spike says,
the talking dog is the weird thing about all this?
Yeah, it's like the funniest thing in the whole movie. That was great. Second funny thing is when after Twilight and Spike go back to Equestria, Crown is restored, and they have their friends back, and then Twilight, when asked about Sunset Shimmer, she's like, I've left her in good hands. And everyone's like, what are hands? So going back to the whole Flash Sentry thing, I was really sad that they couldn't be together because they were just so perfect for each other, and they were adorable, and yeah. But then Twilight bumps into that royal guard again, and guess what he says? We gotta quit bumping into each other like this. Twilight is like blushing and staring at him, and she's like, who the heck is that? And Cadence explains, oh, that's a new royal guard. His name's Flash Sentry. And she's like, what? And she's kind of denying that she has a crush on this guy, and the girls are like totally teasing her. And then Pony version of Pinkie Pie does the same thing the human version of Pinkie Pie did. Totally spot on with the whole Flash Sentry deal, and she's just like, just a hunch. And it ends with Twilight being more confident about her duties as a princess. Happy ending. So, yeah, I really liked Flash Sentry, both as a pony and as a human. He's just that perfect gentleman, you know? Once I got over the whole shock of the girls as human teens, I actually thought the animation was really good. Like, they're really pretty, and they looked pretty much exactly like pony versions of them, and they acted the same and everything. It was really good. And I was just so surprised at how good that movie was. That is a good movie. You gotta see it. I'm hoping Flash Sentry will appear later on, like maybe the 4th season of the show. I really hope we get to see him again, because those two, like it's a couple. It's official. They gotta be together. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye! You're still here? Go. It's over. Go away. I can't believe you saw me embarrass myself on YouTube.